Hello, everybody. It's me, the Masked Hornet. I'm excited to be here today to read you a story from my good friend Colt Cabana called Wrestling Dreams. Oh, yeah, dreams. Yes, it is. You got some wrestling moves going on here, some leg drops, some flying elbows. Oh, that brings back some good times there. Oh, I'm excited for this story. Let's get to reading. Boom! Boom! Colt yelled as he jumped off the top rope. Oh, look at the form he's flying in. What a move, what a move. This was his best ring yet. Most moms would have scolded. Mattresses belonged on beds. And Colt's mom, well, she just shook her head with a big smile. She knew their mattresses always ended up in the living room. Colt rolled his mattress down the stairs. He squeezed his sister's mattress through the hall, and he flipped his brother's mattress over the railing. As the collection of mattresses continued to grow, so did his dreams. Oh, the championship belt. Oh, what a champion Colt could be. He dreamed of autographs and people signing up to see him. Oh, yeah. During breakfast, he dressed in his wrestling gear until his dad performed a maneuver of his own. We'll call that the stealing of the tie. Yeah, he takes it back. Colt used his neighborhood cat, Dusty, to help with his wrestling entrance until his neighbor lectured, "Wrestling is for troublemakers." Oh, come on, Colt, you can do it. Colt practiced his moves by hanging on Miss Russell's clothesline until Miss Russell scolded, "Put your clothes on." On the playground, Colt bench pressed his friends. Look at him getting heavy, getting some weights and stakes. That's where it's about, getting muscles, until the recess supervisor screeched, "Detention." Oh no. By the end of most days, Colt felt discouraged. But his mom was always there, shaking her head with a big smile. "Oh, good job, Mom." So he banded with his friends, Sean and Marty, who also believed in their dreams. They trained on jungle gyms doing pull-ups. They ate orange vegetables and red protein and studied their favorite heroes from the crowd. Oh, look, we got some masked Hornet fans out there. Oh, yeah. After all of Colt's hard work, could his dream come true? Finally, one recess, he was ready to find out. Everyone came out to watch the exhibition, even the sixth graders. He high-fived hands as Sean and Marty cheered him on. "Colt, Colt, Colt." Yes, he's getting excited now. As Colt ran down the pavement to the makeshift ring, his theme song echoed in his ears. His dad's favorite tie wrapped around his head. Come on, say it with me. "Colt, Colt, Colt." Oh, he's getting excited. Dusty followed him to the ring, chanting, "Colt, Colt, Colt." His wrestling gear matched from head to toe. Let's hear it, fans. "Colt, Colt, Colt." Colt moved with precision, jumping off the ropes into a splash and dropping the big boot as he went with his signature, "Colt, Colt." Oh, it's getting exciting now. "Colt!" Oh no. The recess supervisor screeched. The neighbor lectured, and Miss Russell scolded, all shaking their heads, discouraged. But Colt didn't hear them. Over the cheers of his friends, Marty and Sean raised Colt's hand in victory. Yes, victory. As Colt's friends carried him off in celebration, he could see his mom nodding her head with a big smile. Colt left us a little note. Let's see what he says. As a kid growing up, the only thing I ever really wanted to do was be a professional wrestler. I turned everything in my surroundings into a wrestling scenario. My passion was born. I hope you feel inspired to live your dream. Who is in your corner? Look at those people and believe in you and believe in yourself. Always remember to be different, be unique, and like that, like what you like. Oh, what a good book by Colt, good buddy of mine. He's one of the champions of wrestling. I hope you've enjoyed this book. I gotta run, I got a match to get to, but I'll see you soon. Hey everybody, it's me, the champion counselor of Harper Elementary, Mr. Woodruff. Big shout out to all my Harper Hornets out there. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Miss you guys tons. We'll see you soon. Now, I think you saw a good friend of mine, the masked Hornet. He's awesome. You probably noticed 2 belts. Well, he is my tag team partner. It's really funny because we act alike, we sound alike, we dress alike. People think we're the same person. We're not, don't worry. I'm me and he's him. But what a great dude. That's so nice of him to come and read this book, Wrestling Dreams. Love this book. It's a great book. So we're going to kind of talk about it. Again, I'm Mr. Woodruff, and being a counselor, my role is to help students with a lot of different things. I see students on an individual basis. I see them in small groups or classroom lessons, kind of like what we're going to talk about today. So let's get into that. So today's lesson, we're going to talk about goals. And now you might notice this guy right here. This is the masked Hornet. He's slamming down his opponent right there. Great guy, great guy. We're going to talk about goals, and you're probably wondering, well, what are goals? And we're going to talk about that. Before we do anything, we're going to have an activity later, and I want you guys to get a piece of paper and something to write with, pencil, pen, crayon, whatever. Just run and go get that real quick. Good. Everybody's got their stuff? Perfect. Let's get into this. I know we had a lot of excitement here early on, so before we go any further, let's kind of take a moment and refocus, because if you're like me, hearing the masked Hornet got you excited. So we're going to take some deep breaths, kind of like we did last week. So let's do them with me. 3 deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. Let's go. There's 1. 2. 1 more. 3. Good. Now we're a little bit more relaxed, more focused, and we can kind of get into what the lesson's about. So what are goals? Well, goals are something you want to achieve. Let's go back and think about our story in Colt. What did he want to achieve? What was his goal? Who remembers? That perfect answer, Addison. I love it. He wanted to become a wrestler. You guys are so smart. So the goal was to become a wrestler. Now, goals aren't something we just wake up and instantly do. It's something that will take work, and it's something you put effort into. Colt just didn't wake up one morning, was like, I'm going to be a professional wrestler, and boom, he was on TV. No, it takes time. So what did Colt have to do to get there? Who knows? Exactly, great answer. He had to practice every day. If we remember the story, he was working out, he was eating protein, he was wrestling with his friends, he made those makeshift rings in his mom's house, he threw mattress on the floor, he was wrestling all day. Practice, practice, practice. So goals take work, and that's okay, because we know in the end, if we want to achieve, we have to practice. But why should we set goals? What's so important about goals? Well, goals help us grow. They help us focus on where we want to be, and they help us create a plan to move forward. So let's think about Colt wanting to be a wrestler. Do you think he could just wake up one day and be like, I'm a professional wrestler? No, you're right. It takes work. If he has a goal in mind, if he wrote down a piece of paper, I'm going to be a professional wrestler one day, he knew where he was going. He knew how to get there. He had to work, 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 and he could see that it helped push him forward every day. There might be days where he doesn't feel like it, but if he remembers his ultimate goal in the end, to be that wrestler, he can see it and he can achieve it. There are different types of goals that I kind of want to talk about real fast. The types of goals are short-term and long-term. Now, they're both pretty simple to understand, but let's kind of break those down real quick. A short-term goal is something you want to do soon. Could be today, this week, this month, or even this year. If you want a good way to remember that, there's an old TV show called Friends, and they kind of had this in their title. You can think about that. Today, this week, this month, or even this year. I'm not a good singer, but you get the idea. So, short-term goal, what can we do? Well,
I want to paint a picture today. Seems pretty simple, right? We talked about today. I can paint a picture today. If I wake up and say, I think I'm going to paint a picture today, all I got to do is get my supplies and start working. If I just said, I'm going to paint a picture, I don't know when I'm going to do it, that really doesn't give us a short-term goal. Long-term is something you want to do in the future. It requires time and planning, and it's usually years away. So like our short-term goal, I want to paint a picture today. That's short-term because we're doing it today, but it's not necessarily a long-term goal because we know it's going to take a while to get there. So a goal maybe for that one to keep with Colt could be, I want to be a professional wrestler. That's a long-term goal. Now, we don't know how old Colt is, but if he's wrestling for sixth graders, he's probably not old enough to be a professional wrestler. So his goal might be, I want to be a professional wrestler when I get older or when I grow up. What are some things you guys can think of that might be long and short-term goals? Yeah? Great answers. You guys are fantastic. You know all about goals. So to kind of help us make goals, I want to give you the SMART way of doing this. Now, SMART stands for something, and I'm going to help you understand what that means. The first thing we have is S, is specific. Next is the M, which means measurable. We have A, which is attainable. R, which is relevant. And T, which is time-oriented. So at this point, it's kind of where I want you to go ahead and get your stuff, get your paper and your pencil, something to write with. And what I want you to do is you're going to write something like this. All right, so you got your piece of paper out, and here's what I want you to write on it. Simple and easy. S-M-A-R-T. Just like that, write it down to the side, and we'll get right back to that. So to make sure we get back, let's get back to where we were. So again, specific, measurable, attainable, and relevant, or SMART. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to write a family goal together. Now, you get with whoever's in your house right now. It could be mom and dad, your sisters, brothers, aunt and uncle, whoever you have. Get with them, and we're going to write a goal for this summer. Now, it might be a little tricky to write this goal, but we want you to work through it, and we'll work one together. So the first thing I want you to do is specific. Think about the specific goal you have in mind. To be specific, it's got to be detailed and state exactly what you want to achieve. A good example could be, I want to visit 5 zoos this summer. A bad example of that is, I want to go to some zoos. The reason this is specific because it tells us the exact amount, when, and what we're going to do. The other one just says, I want to go to some zoos. Well, how many zoos? Which zoo? When do you want to get it done? So we have to be specific. So let's take a look. If we're writing our own goals here, specific might be, maybe my goal is, I want to visit 5 parks. That's pretty specific, right? Tells me exactly how many I want to meet, but if we're doing good grammar, I better put my period on there. So I want to visit 5 zoos. Go ahead and take a second and write down the specific goal you want to reach. Remember, what do you want to accomplish? Good job, guys. Good job. So now we're going to move to M. What does M mean? M stands for measurable, and this means it can be measured or counted. Pretty simple explanation there. Look at our good example. I want to visit 5 zoos this summer. Bad example. I want to visit a lot of zoos. Can somebody tell me, why is the good example, why is that a good example of measurable? Yeah? Because it's got an exact number, right? 5. I can count to 5. Can I count to a lot? I don't know how many a lot is, so that's hard to count to. So here's what I want you to do. We're going to write on our M, how will you know when you have accomplished your goal? So let's go back to our picture here that we were writing. So how do I know this is measurable? Well, again, I want, go ahead and write yours, to visit 5 parks. Boom, I'll underline 5 because there's my number. It's measurable because I know once I get to 5, I've made my goal. If I roll a lot, it's kind of hard for me to realize if I've made it or not. A lot for me might be 10, a lot for you might be 20. We have to make it so we can count it. Let's move on to A. There we go. A means attainable. It's achievable. It's something you can do. I want to visit 5 zoos this summer. A bad example, I want to visit 100 zoos this week. Now, I don't know about you guys and how much time you have, but visiting 100 zoos in 1 week is pretty hard. There's a lot of zoos, and if we think about just in Evansville, we have the 1 zoo. Now, getting to 99 more might be pretty hard. So here's what I want you to think of. Is your goal something you can do? Like in our story, do you have somebody in your corner who can help you achieve that? So let's go back to our work here. And remember, we're doing A, something we can achieve. So what can I achieve? If I want to keep with my parks, I can keep I want to visit 5 parks. But when do I want to do it? When do I think I can do that? We'll put by end of summer. There. That seems pretty simple, right? I can visit 5 zoos by the end of this summer, or 5 parks. And remember, we're still there measuring it. Is it obtainable? By the end of the summer, I think I can do that. That gives me a few months to get that done. Now, I know right now it's a little bit harder to do this, but if you have access to the internet, there's tons of museums, zoos, and things like that. They're doing free virtual tours. You could get on there and still tour that, and it's like you're there. So if you can't get out and do it, that's a great alternative that you can try. So now that we've done S, M, and A, let's take a look at R. So what does R mean? R is relevant. Is it something that's important to you? It's something that will help make you better. Good. I want to visit 5 zoos this summer. Bad example, I want to visit the same zoo 10 times. Why is this good? Why do you guys think? Yeah, if you go to the same zoo 10 times, you're going to see the same animals. Everything's going to be the same. You're not really going to learn anything different. If I go to 5 different zoos, I'm going to see different animals in different habitats. I'm going to see all kinds of things. It's good for me to learn different things while I'm out there. So the question is, are you willing to work hard to reach this goal? Now, going to 5 zoos might take a little bit of work. Maybe not on my part, but maybe for mom and dad having to drive us there or get us to that park or get us to that zoo or wherever we want to go. It takes a little bit of work. So let's get ready and work on our R. Relevant. Let's see, keeping the same thing here. I want to visit 5, let's write our parks, by end of summer. So visiting 5 parks by end of summer, for me, that's relevant because we like going on parks. Me and my family like to take walks through the trail. We recently went to Lincoln State Park, and if you like history, it's a great way to learn as well. For one, you're outside, but there's log cabins and tons of stuff you can read to learn about how things were back then. So A, you're out getting exercise, but you're also learning something pretty neat. So make it relevant to you. So now we've done S, M, A, R. We're at our final letter, T, time-oriented. Basically what this means is it has an end date, a set time to focus on. Good, I want to visit zoos this summer. Bad, I want to visit 5 zoos eventually. Well, when's eventually? When you're 100? When you get to high school, college, tomorrow? When is eventually? If I put, I want to visit 5 zoos this summer, I know exactly when I want to hit it and when I want to get done. So here's the question. When will your goal be accomplished? So thinking about your goal again, when will yours be accomplished? I'm going to keep with my same thing here. I want to visit my number 5, so it's attainable. Parks by end of summer. Boom. I think I can hit it by the end of summer. I think that's definitely time-oriented because it tells me when I'm going to get it done. So there's our SMART goal. So now that you've written yours, let's kind of take a look and see if our goal kind of matches each of those things there. The goal we wrote for me and my family, we want to visit 5 state parks by the end of summer break. So let's think about S. Is it specific? Yeah. We want to visit 5 state parks by the end of summer break. It's pretty spot on. Is it attainable? I think we can visit 5 state parks by summer break. I think that's definitely something we can do. Let's see. Is it relevant? Yeah. It's definitely relevant because, again, for my family, we like being outside. We like visiting parks, so it's a good relevant. Let's see here. Attainable. We skipped it. We skipped a letter. So we got SM. Is it attainable? 5 is an attainable number. If I put 100, that might be hard to do, but 5's easy. So we know it's SMAR. Is it time-oriented? By the end of summer break. Definitely something we can do, guys. So what I'd like to do is take a quick minute, finish up yours. I'm going to kind of check and see how people are doing. Just write your goals, guys. Whatever your goal is, we want you to write it. But when you get done writing it, we also want to know what your goal is. What is your goal for your family? Maybe it's visiting parks. Maybe it's reading books as a family. It could be any number of things. There's a lot of things you guys can do. What I also want you to do is take a minute to think about who's in your corner. If we think back to our book here, our Wrestling Dreams book, Colt talked a lot about his friends and his mom. They were big supporters of him. So when you think about your goal, what you want to achieve, who is in your corner? Who's there helping you and cheering you on? What do you guys think? What are some people that you can name in your corner? Mom and dad, good answers. Yeah, your siblings, like your brother, sister. Who else? Teachers, great answer, guys. Teachers are huge supporters. What else can you guys think of? Yeah, counselors, great answers. Anybody else? Yeah. Perfect answers, guys. Just kind of quick, write that down. Think about who's in your corner because we want to hear, hold on, you're back? Okay, yeah, my friend's back. Hold on, I got somebody who wants to say something real fast.
Okay, guys, think about your dreams. Dreams are so important. If it wasn't for me dreaming of making a goal to be a professional wrestler, I would have never made it. I know who's in my corner. My great tag team partner, Mr. Woodruff. He's always in my corner when I need him, and I'm ready for that tag. Woo! Here it comes, jumping in the ring. Who's in your corner? We want to know who's in your corner. Share it with us at hashtag #WeAreEVSC. Let us see your goals. Let us know who's in your corner during this time. We know you can achieve your goals, and when you can, dreams don't work unless you do. If you're not willing to put in work, if you're not willing to reach for that goal and that dream, you'll never get there. But when you work hard, like Colt, like me, you can win. You can be that champion. Oh, what a day it was. Thank you all so much. You've been wonderful. Let's go ahead and raise the roof. I got to get out of here. Me and Mr. Woodruff got a match tonight. We got to defend these tag team champions. Thank you guys so much. We know you're on our corner. We'll see you next week.